Welcome, folks, to Echo's Reloading Chamber. Tonight we have a special guest with us, Eagle Run 23, and basically our co-host AR Guns, and Eagle is here to talk more about the 8.6. We have done a little bit more shooting, and we've been talking reloading in the back. We've been talking about a little bit of everything. So I'm going to just let it off with welcome to the show, brother. I appreciate it. Everybody in the side chat, I appreciate you coming by. And AR, why don't you go ahead and get us going right off the bat with the side chat, and then we'll start off with and let Eagle welcome himself to the show.
All right.
Hey, good to be here, Echo. Good to be with both of you. It's going to be a good show. I appreciate the honor of always being with you, man. And good to see you all in the side chat. I miss you guys. I miss streaming. We used to stream a lot more. But I got a lot of stuff going on. But let me do a rundown who's in here. Kingpin's with us. Eagle Run over here in the box. Low Balling Outdoors has jumped in. Tactical FUD. MSB 9021. Reloader 762. How you doing? Good to see you guys. It'll be a good show. We've been really drilling down on this gun and talking about it on the backside. So take it away.
All right. So Eagle Run 23 on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. I am on Twitter. But there's a couple things I would like to discuss with 8.6 Blackout. I currently have a 16-inch barrel that is running adjustable gas block, and I had some trouble with it cycling, but it's been in a bunch of different iterations. It first started off with a borrowed lower from my 6.5 Creedmoor, and I think that caused me a little bit of problems because it was tuned for a Creedmoor, not for the Blackout. And so I went ahead here recently and finished off the polymer lower that is currently set up on the gun. I've shot it twice in this configuration. The first time I had to adjust that gas block a ton, and I was getting some stove piping, and I actually caught, see how mangled that round? I actually caught, it got caught stovepipe. I've got 5 or 6 like this, and this brass is so valuable. I saved these because I'm going to have to figure out how to fix that.
You're gonna have to run that up in a die.
Yeah, this is going to have to be manipulated, we'll say. I've got about half a dozen like this, and I saved them because this stuff is unbelievably valuable right now. You cannot find 8.6 brass that's just 8.6 brass. So obviously they're supposed to look like this.
Right.
While you got me on the big one here, I'll go ahead and show you. This is the 288 grain fracturing Subsonic from Gorilla. Big, beefy, ginormous bullet.
Boy, it sticks out a lot, don't it? Well, too.
Oh, it sticks way out.
Long here. Yeah.
I've got a 300 grainer here to show you how much is sticking out. This is a Sierra 300 grain boat tail hollow point. So you can see it still goes way down in there too. Wow. It's going all the way past the shoulder.
Yeah.
Wow.
Big bullet.
Yeah.
And then I also have from Discreet Ballistics. These are currently the only 2 manufacturers that are making rounds for this. And this is a 300 grain. And I think this is actually the Barnes. I don't remember what bullet this is, but
has it got a blue tip in it?
It doesn't. No,
it doesn't. It's just a hollow point.
I haven't even opened this one, guys. Let me open it.
I'm gonna switch something up, Echo. Bear with me for a minute. Hang on.
Let's take a peek in here and see what these guys are.
There we go.
All right.
Okay, so this is the Discreet Ballistic. It is a closed tip,
and
it's a 300 grainer. At one point, I knew what this was. I just forgot. what bullet that is. Because there's only a handful of bullets that'll work with this. So I'm going to talk. I would like to talk first about cases, because a lot of people have seen a couple of these videos on YouTube about guys making cases, and I've learned a couple things the last couple days about making cases. The 6.5 Creedmoor, and some of this I got also from Eagle Eye Shooter, because he's making cases as well. Yeah. I am not an expert on this topic. I have not made a case yet. That AP guy, AP something outdoors, he's got a ton of content, and I believe he's in Texas. And then Eagle Eye Shooting has a couple videos on making cases. But what the thing, I would use 6.5 Creed. It's a parent case, correct? But a couple things about that. So if you're just going to run a 6.5 Creedmoor case into a die, your neck thicknesses are not right. You have to turn your necks. And then the other thing about that, which I didn't really think about until we're adding up some numbers across here, but as the case goes further down, the brass gets thicker, right? Yeah. We know that.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you take I think I've got a 308 case right here. Yeah, I got a 308 case right here. So if we look at where the differences are, so you're talking about making the neck out of where the case is in full thickness down here. So yeah, so if you're just going to run that puppy up into a die, you could have some problems. And I see people doing it. I've seen videos of guys running them up into a die. I feel like that's a great recipe for a stuck case. Lots of lubrication. But I think the better choice is to use the 6.5 Creedmoor case. It's a little bit lower down, and you're not going to have as much thickness in there to turn out. Right. You're pretty much going to have to turn these necks. Pretty much no way around it. You're pretty much going to have to turn them to get that. Now, this round isn't Sammy spec'd. The word on the street is that'll be this year, but who knows?
Right.
Who knows what it'll be? It could be this year.
It's who's pushing the money.
Yeah. So I hope that we see cases available, but for now, this is like 300 blackout category where it's AP 2020 that's doing the gel test. Yeah, Jeff Huntley said it. AP 2020, and he's got a ton of videos on it. And those he's shot hogs with it. He's done all sorts of stuff, and they actually have I think Faxon did a video interview of him that's going live like today or tomorrow. I'm definitely going to watch that because I need to know more. As I haven't reloaded this yet, but I think I have everything I need to reload it. And I have my dies over here as well. So so we talked about the case thickness. The other part is that I think what people don't maybe understand or give credit to is the 1 in 3 twist rate. So 15 years ago, when I built my first AR-15 rifle, there's a couple of choices. Most of them were like, 8 twists, 9 twists, 10 twists. And then if you look historically, Echo might know this better than me, but historically, the 223, when it first came out, wasn't it like 12 and 14 twists?
Was 1 in 14.
Yeah.
And when the military, Eugene Stoner was first designed the rifle and switched it down from a 308 7.62 by 51 NATO to the 222, and then later developed it into the 223 Remington and into the 5.56 from there at 62,000 PSI. But it was like they basically started it out with the 222 because they kind of they moved the goalpost on Eugene about halfway through the game. They said, it's got to be able to penetrate a steel pot at 200 meters. And he was like, well, the 222, that's beyond the capability of what you were asking for in the begin with. And then they changed it over to the 223 and then hot loaded it and made it a 5.56. And that's where you get that peak pressure.
Wasn't it
those are
1 in
12s
12
and-
twist too one time, Echo?
Yeah,
Well,
12, I think.
1 in 14, and then
Remember
they
that, yeah.
shot them. They were through the trials. They had taken some guns into a meat locker that was 41 degrees inside, and they had put targets out at 100 yards, and they shot, and the group opened up, and the military was like, for a rifle that was designed to fight in a jungle at 100 degrees and 100% humidity, they were worried about it opening up at 40 degrees Fahrenheit. So then they said, then Eugene says, well, we'll just make it 1 in 12 then. And they tightened up the rifling a little bit, and they got them to hit on paper and everything at a good group sizing. So they went ahead with the project.
So were those 55 grains or 62?
There were 55.
55.
Okay.
It was the M193 is what that round was called. Now the 62 grain is an M855.
Yeah.
And that has a tungsten steel rod inside it that they call a penetrator.
Mm-hmm.
And basically it's used to penetrate light body armor and the doors and stuff like that on vehicles. So basically, long story short, it's gone from 55 grain M193 to the M855 in recent years. And when I say recent years, I'm saying since the 80s.
So when I was building those, looks like CW's here. When I was building those 15 years ago, people were saying, oh, don't get the 1 in 7 twist unless you're going to shoot that 77 grain Match King because you don't need the 1 in 7 twist. And so like I was new to this stuff and I didn't really understand it. And so twist rate to me was always correlated to stabilization. And the thing that I think people don't understand about 8.6 Blackout is that this is way more revolutionary of a cartridge than I think people are giving it credit for, because people are saying, oh, well, you already got the 338 Fed. Oh, well, you already got the 357 Raptor. Oh, you already got, and then a lot of people are just like, it's not better than my 308. So the people that are in these categories saying these things are missing the point altogether. The 1 in 3 twist rate has nothing to do with the fact that it's a 300 grain barrel. I mean, maybe it has something to do with that, but the 1 in 3 twist rate, it would stabilize at a 5 or a 7 or an 8. They've shot facts and experimented with this, and there's videos on YouTube about, because I think one of the first choices was a 5 and a 7. People also talk about overstabilization as if like it's going to keyhole or something down the road if you don't shoot the right grain bullet with the right twist. So there was a bit of a barrier for that for me, and just thinking, in fact, originally I would say, 1 in 3 twists, that's wild. Like, that's a cool twist. Like, those sorts of things. And what we're missing here is that the 1 in 3 twist rate doesn't have anything to do with stabilization. It has to do with rotational energy. And the wound cavities that are created from this round are unbelievable. I mean, if you haven't seen gel test stuff, we're talking about 6 and 8 inch wound cavities. Like, nothing is putting out wound cavities like this is. This is purely a hunting round that is way more revolutionary than what people are thinking. And that twist rate is what the kicker is. Man.
Yeah, I have actually seen some tests done where it's hitting with so much energy on impact that you're getting in hollow point ammunition. The hollow points have jacketed petals that are perforated on it so that they will aid in the casing peeling back. And they're hitting with such energy that they're actually warping the outer case of the hollow point and starting to twist it. It's from it spinning so hard when it's hitting that gelatin, which is absolutely amazing. You're talking about over 2,000 foot-pounds of energy to cause that kind of ballistic damage.
Yeah.
Like a high-powered drill.
Yes.
It's a propeller. And a lot of times you see these pedals like this one that I'm putting up here on the screen, you can see it has little cuts in it because this is a fracturing subsonic round. So it has little bitty cuts in it that are those petals that open up. And typically when you see bullets that are pulled out of gel that have petals, the petals are completely like they open up and they actually point backwards, right? They point in the direction that the bullet was fired from. These don't do that because it's spinning at such a great rate. These things open up and they're sticking straight out in every direction. So you're looking at like the force of this thing is expanding the sectional. That would be like this. That's called the sectional density. I think that's what that's called. The size that's hitting the target when those petals open up. I mean, it's 5,000% larger than it was when it was fired because of that spin rate. It's unbelievable. So people who are talking about 308, listen, 308 is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. It's not a dead caliber. 6.5 Creedmoor has its place. If you want to shoot 1,000 yards, if you want to be accurate, you can be accurate with 308. People are super accurate with 308. The 300 Blackout has its place. All these cartridges have their place. This is not just a fad cartridge. This is going to push bullet design and bullet manufacturing. It's going to push this to places that we never knew were available, because this 1 in 3 twist will actually destroy a bullet when it's shot if it's not the right kind of bullet. There's only about 3, 4, 5 different bullets that you can even shoot. And that 338 round is just going to, that caliber is just going to explode with options of bullets, because this 8.6 Blackout is legit. It's here to stay. It is not a fad. It's not taking the place of your 308. It's not taking the place of your 6.5 Creedmoor. This is a specific thing to do a specific thing, and it does it really well.
Good to see you, Jamie. I got a pun. It'll drive a hog wild when it hits it.
Yeah.
Drill it to death.
They're just falling over in some of these videos. And I'm going hog hunting with my brother-in-law here in a couple weeks. So the 8.6 Blackout will get a hog here very soon.
Awesome. I cannot wait
to be unsuppressed, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, but I have Eagle's channel in the description, or in the description on the channel, in the description box, and I also have it pinned in the side chat. So if you want to go and subscribe to him and watch what he's doing, he's going to be covering that hog hunt. I'm pretty sure, aren't you, on your channel?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so get over there and subscribe and let him hear from you guys. That's awesome, brother. I can't. So what are you doing now? Because I've heard 2 rifles in the build, because I get this thing where I came up and I saw your video and I was like, he's building 2 of these. I know he is. What's going on?
So the suppressor, okay, the only reason I chose a 16-inch barrel is because I did not want to do a pistol. AR pistols are in the crosshairs of our leaders, and let's not say leaders, let's say elected officials in DC. And the AR pistol, I don't know where that's going to be in a year or 2. So I went with a 16-inch barrel so that I could do a legit rifle build, even though I knew it wasn't really what I wanted. I was trying to be first on YouTube, to be an average guy who ordered parts in. No one sent me anything in advance. I ordered it. I waited on shipping times just like everyone else. And my goal was to be the first one on YouTube who had a built gun that shoots. Best I can tell, I accomplished that goal. Now, this guy, this AP 2020 Outdoors guy, he had a barrel sent in from Fax, and he was shooting hogs before I even had my barrel. Like, there's definitely prototype guns have been out there, but I'm just an average guy. Like, I have no connections. Nobody at Faxon knows me. So anyway, that was really the intention of why I went 16-inch barrel, was to simplify and speed up my process. I knew the suppressor thing was just going to be what it is, because I don't own a suppressor. This is my first one. If you don't watch my channel, I did buy a suppressor. I got a Dead Air Primal. I'd like to talk about suppressors next. So the 2-gun thing, because of the suppressor and the switching back and forth, and I want to reload for this subsonic, supersonic, I think I'm just going to have a sub gun and a supersonic gun. I feel like that's probably the easiest way to do this. The 16-inch barrel, I can just optimize for supers, and then I have I've got a Faxon 8.6 muzzle brake that I can run on the 16-inch barrel that will just be a super gun. We can maybe do those Barnes 210s. Do I have 210s?
Michael's asking what bullet is that?
I do have 210s. So these are the Barnes TSX 210s. They're dramatically smaller than the 300 grainer. But that's a Barnes. It's an open hollow point. Allegedly, these won't shred open when you shoot them. Allegedly, these are good to go.
So Barnes, I'll tell you this on that TTSX bullet, it's a solid copper. And it is tough, and that's what I use in my 458 SOCOM, and it will knock a hog down. Let me tell you.
So this is just the TSX. It's not the tip one. It's not the TT one.
Okay.
So who asked what bullet what was?
Michael Hurtnick wanted to know what bullet it was.
He was probably asking about this one. This is a 288 grain fracturing subsonic. I think this is the one he was probably asking about. This is from Gorilla, and I don't know that Gorilla is telling us who's making this bullet. They might be making this bullet themselves. Gorilla has said that they're going to sell bullets and cases, but they're not selling anything right now. You cannot buy 8.6 Blackout rounds anywhere. I'm very lucky to have what I have. I have under 200 rounds of it.
This is an interesting question. What Hal has here
is the 8.6 made to do the same thing as the 300? Burn all of its powder before it leaves the barrel. I believe so. Yes. I mean, it's the same. It's the same. Kevin Brittenhouse is the same guy.
Q.
Yeah, Q.
Yeah, Q.
Yeah, it's designed to burn 100% powder in a 12 inches of barrel length, just like the 300 Blackout, and to work with the AR-10, LR-308, SR-25, 308 bolt carrier group. So basically, it's just like the 300 Blackout. You change a barrel, you can use the same magazine, the same bolt, the same buffer, spring, and bam, you can run it.
Yeah. Jeff says the 210 is the best super, and that's I can confirm that's also what I've heard. I don't have firsthand experience to say that for sure, but from what I can tell, that's the one that I'll do for super, and I'm going to do this 300 grain. There's a couple other 300 grains on the market. Nobody has them, though. You can't get – this stuff is so hard to get. Like this 8.6 Blackout has been relatively popular, I'd say, and I've been around – you guys have been around reloading longer than me. I haven't been around reloading for very long, but that I'm aware of, other than the 300 Blackout, is there another cartridge that people have been as hype about as this thing?
I would have to say the closest thing would probably be the 6.5 Creedmoor, but the 300 Blackout, all it takes is someone to shoot it, and you're like, it's so quiet when you're shooting subsonic, even without a suppressor. In my opinion, I don't even have to wear ears. Yeah. I mean, it's that quiet that I could shoot that all day long and not worry about hurting my ears. And,
I can't wait. I'm excited.
Yeah, and that rifle is supposed to be even more quiet than the 300 Black is. So I'm really wanting to hear what you say about, shooting it as far as what the sound levels are, even the supersonic gun.
Yeah. It's so the let's see, we talked about the cases, we talked about the bullets. So we I guess we can talk about the suppressors. I'm going to start with a story of what happened to me, because the plan was to shoot this gun suppressed today. Went to the range. This range is the place that also sold me my suppressor. I have a buddy or two that work there. It's not my first choice range. I like my outdoor range. It's really close to me. This is a little bit into the city of DFW to get to this place. So I don't always go that way, but I'll shoot there a dozen times a year or so. And they ordered me the suppressor because you get visitation rights if you buy it from someone who has a range, because they'll check it out to you on your driver's license, which I guess is the policy that's okay because they're still in control of it. So they'll bring it down to you and they'll take you to the range and they'll let you shoot it. I haven't got to do this yet. I was hoping to do this today. And like when I was driving to the range today, like my stomach was like, I don't get nervous about stuff. Like I've been in some pretty high pressure situations in my work, and I was jazzed. Like I was so excited. And when I pulled into the parking spot, I actually sat there in my truck for a minute and I was like, okay, we're gonna go. I was so jazzed. So I bought they said this is Dead Air and the gun range. They sold me the Dead Air Primal. I bought it like 2-3 weeks ago. It finally got here. They said go get yourself the Kima quick disconnect muzzle device. Nobody has this. A random shop in Utah, he has 5 of them. And I called him to make sure because he had them listed on his website. And he's like, yeah, nobody ever. I'm like, as soon as people figure out there's 4 more of these available, like they're going to be hunting you down. So I bought one from him. In retrospect, I maybe should have bought 2, but whatever. Hopefully by the time the sub gun is working, I can have access to another one. Or actually, I'll put this one on the sub gun and I'll put this one on the super gun. I don't need another one. Okay.
How's wanting to know what the effective range is, Eagle?
Ooh, okay. So yeah, we can talk about that too. Okay. So there's a little device that screws into the bottom of the suppressor that allows you to connect the suppressor to the quick connect muzzle device. I don't have that. Nobody has it. So I might be screwed on this. Like nobody has that little Kima connector. I thought I needed the suppressor and the muzzle device and they would hook together. No, you need a third thing. Nobody said anything about it. Wow. So now I got to go find one and order it. And so I did not get to shoot suppress today, unfortunately. I bought a backup plan. So effective ranges, I don't have firsthand experience this. I've seen people shooting the thing, past 100 yards. Again, if we go back to the intended purpose, there's not a do-it-all caliber that fits every purpose. There just simply isn't one. If you want to shoot long range, you're probably not going to choose the 8.6 Blackout. I consider long range, I like anything over 300 or 400, I would consider long range. So obviously, people are going to say you're not long range until you get to 1,000. Cool, but like anything over 300, 400, 500, that's long range to me. This probably isn't going to excel in that category. I can't wait until someone is, ringing steel at 1,000 yards with this. I'm sure someone will do it, but it's not the most accurate gun. If you want to go accuracy, you need to grab the 6.5 Creedmoor or the Grendel. It's not the accurate gun. It's not the long distance gun. It's just not what it does. So for me, hog hunting, I'm going to say under 300 yards. I'm not going to shoot. I probably wouldn't. I mean, I have a 1-in-4 scope, so yeah, with a 1-in-4 scope, shooting 300 yards would be a little dicey anyway.
Yeah. What's the longest distance you shot it so far?
100 yards.
100.
Yeah, and I was fooling. I was not shooting for accuracy. I was still tuning my gas block. So at 100 yards, totally not focusing on trigger control or anything, just simply shooting the gun for the pleasure of shooting the gun and trying to get it to cycle. I want to say I was probably like a 4 or 5 inch group. I have that paper somewhere. It's on one of my videos.
Okay. You guys check it out over to his channel.
Yeah, I've heard effective ranges quoted by a couple of guys that they were saying, the guy from Faxon, I watched that interview, and they're saying from 200 to 400 meters with this rifle. So it sounds like it'll get out there. The supers are going to get out there at 400 meters. That's pretty far.
400 meters, is that like a gallon? I get confused in the conversion.
Is that like a gallon? That metric says, well, let's see. What a meter is three is.
I think it's an hour. It's 1 hour.
No, it's meter is 36 inches, right? A yard?
A yard is 36 inches.
Yeah, but a meter stick is usually a yard stick. It's the same thing.
It's 3
feet.
Meters a little longer.
Yard is like 1.1 or 1.2 meters, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, something like that. I don't do math out loud, though. It's my policy.
I don't do math out loud.
I always think like this: 100 yards. It's a little more than 100 yards with a meter. It says 100 meters. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think 100 meters is like, or 100 yards is like 92 meters or something like that.
Okay. So don't hold us to these math
Yeah,
calculations.
don't write this down on your dope card, please.
Yeah.
Here,
Don't be
Bending
doing
saying it's
dope for your scope off of our math calculations, please, because you will be unsatisfied.
Yeah.
Bending
exactly.
says 400 meters is 465 yards. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm going to say that sounds right, bending
Right.
ballistics.
That sounds right.
It sounds right.
Because I was like, meters are a little bit longer than yards.
There we go.
Yeah, meter is
39
42
inches.
inches. Yep. There you go.
So so that's still you're talking, that's pretty decent range for a out of a a 16-inch barreled gun or a 12-inch barreled gun. They're saying because of the extreme rifling and the 12 inches is all you need to burn all the powder and to get max velocity and max stability out of the cartridge. So that's why I'm really interested in seeing what it it's obviously not going to be a cartridge that's going to be shooting cards sideways at 100 yards. You know what I'm saying? But still, what it's designed to do, it's going to be pretty damn neat. And I'm pretty impressed with it so far with what Eagle's doing with it. And everybody I've seen running this thing and playing with it, Eagle Eye Shooting, he's done a couple things that I've watched on it, and it's pretty dang cool to me.
Yeah.
I like it. I like what it's doing. So
Good
what
to
do you
see
think,
you, Russell. Sorry.
what do you think about you're thinking about doing another one for Subsonic, and you're thinking 8 or 12-inch barrel for that?
If they have the 12-inch barrel, I'll get that. I might order it here in the next couple of weeks. They're not sold out of them currently. So I was thinking maybe I'll get one, or maybe one of the next runs that they do when they post them this fall. I have anyone who watches my channel, we are freaking neck deep in builds right now, and I need another build. Like I need what do I, a hole in my head or whatever the saying is. Like I don't need another build. And I'm not in a super rush to do this, especially since I can't get my suppressor and bring it home till January at the soonest. I'll probably focus on the super stuff right now and not really get to do the cool subsonic stuff. But I guess all in good time. We're trying to. I'm trying to redo. I got a barrel that we were trying to do a budget accuracy build on. That was a 223 Wild, and I failed miserably at that, and I'm giving it a second chance, and so that build is going on the channel. And then my 6.5 Grendel from Odin Works, that barrel showed up this week, and so I'm working on that, and that one's going to be more of a high-end build. Like I think I already have $1,000 in this thing, and we haven't even done anything yet. Like
That's what I want, Eagle. 6.5
Yeah.
Grendel. What you're doing, high-end, a little more high-end.
I mean, I got a $250 trigger. I got a $300 barrel and a $200 BCG, and thankfully I'm doing it 80% lower. So my lower, but it's Cerakoted. So anyway.
What kind of trigger did you go with?
I have a Trigger Tech, 2-stage. They call it like a soft 2-stage or a light 2-stage or something. It's very short, or a short 2-stage, very short 2-stage. It is. I would show it to you right here, but it's in the lower, so I can't bring it up. But it is the freaking smoothest, best feeling trigger I have. I can't wait to shoot it.
I've heard great triggers.
I might have to go put it on a different upper if I don't get that upper done soon, because I'm going to want to shoot that thing. It feels so good. And I think it pulled, the box said it was 3.5, and I just got a trigger pull from Lyman, and it was like it was like 3.48. Like it was exactly 3.5 pounds.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I just saw out there in the side, Uncle John and Lakeview Outdoors.
What's up, guys?
Lead Bullet Junkie.
Yeah, good to see you guys. I was trying to find a slot
to
to say something.
Yeah, go ahead, AR. Go ahead. We'll take a little stretching break.
Yeah, it's good to see you, Lakeview. Uncle John's with us, Lead Bullet Junkie, Bending Ballistics with us, Michael Hurtneck, Uncle John. I call Hal 9000. appreciate you guys coming here. Be it Bernie Sanchez is with us. Good to see you, Bernie. Caldello, is that how you pronounce it? Probably one of your viewers. Eagle, good to see you. Russell,
yes, I've seen him in the comments before.
Is that how you pronounce it, Caldello?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, we've got Russell on across the pond. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Russell.
Awesome, Russell, for coming over, brother.
Critter.
Two things from the comments here that just reminded me. Number one, Lead Bullet Junkie. Someone said earlier that they were hoping to cast bullets for their 338. I believe that Eagle Eye Shooting has shot a cast bullet that someone made for him. I don't know anything about bullet casting, but you're probably going to want to make sure your metallurgy skills are at a high level to make sure that that thing's not spinning apart. Especially, you don't want to blow up your $1,000 suppressor with a baffle strike because your bullet came apart because you wanted to shoot a 10-cent bullet instead of a 90-cent bullet. Probably not worth it. But if you can figure that out and you can make sure that thing's not coming apart, I would love to see cast bullets. I think that's cool. I'm interested in it. I just can't go down the casting bullet train right now.
That's not the diamond trigger, is it, Eagle? I wouldn't think
I threw the box away.
I've looked at the internals of it. It's amazing. It is designed.
It's blue. It's got like a blue cassette that drops in. I've never had anything that high end before, and the thing is the build quality 10 out of 10. I mean, it's just beautiful. It feels amazing. I have no experience with anything that nice before. And then the other one, someone said something about the 338 Fed. I mentioned 338 Fed and 357 Raptor earlier, and those are cool rounds. And if you want to do a bolt gun and you want to suppress them, you can accomplish some of the same things that the 8.6 Blackout can accomplish. There it is right there. Like the 338 Fed, a bit slower supers. You can run heavier subs. So all of that is true. But for me, it misses 2 points. One is super important to me, and the other one just has to do with so the things are, it misses the twist rate is number one. You're going to put a ton of energy. That's still a freaking heavy bullet going really fast. Like, it's going to do some damage to what it hits, but it's not in the same category of what a 1 in 3 twist is doing. But the 338 Fed and the 357 Raptor, I have tons of respect for those two rounds. I think they're super cool. And they make great sub guns as well. But the energy and the twist, that's missing. And then the second thing, which is super important to me, I am not a bolt gun guy. I'm a gas gun guy. And I didn't really realize that puts me in a category, but I'm in that category, and I'm just going to embrace it. I would love to be a bolt gun guy at some point, and I'm probably going to have to be a bolt gun guy at some point. But I want to do everything I can out of the AR-10 platform or the AR-15 platform. And the problem with 357 Raptor and 338 Fed is they do not reliably magazine feed, and that's a problem if you're shooting semi-auto. I mean, you got to modify magazines. I have the magazine that I'm using is a Magpul magazine off the shelf. I load my obvious. I mean, I'm not feeding.
Yeah, it's a PMag.
Right, it's a PMag, and it
$25.
No modification. They go right in. There's not a proprietary mag. So those are the two things that separate the 8.6 from those other great rounds. No problem with those rounds. I think they're cool.
Vanessa, that thing is turning one turn revolution every 3 inches. It goes out of a 16-inch barrel. So you would get way more than 3 full revolutions on that. I hope that answers the question. You get a bunch.
It's not based on barrel length. It's based on inches, I believe.
It is. But then but your barrel, because it's longer, it just keeps every 3 inches a full revolution.
16 times 3.
16 times, yeah. That's
she's
3
spinning.
times 16 is
It's got some spinach.
At 32 and
he's doing math out loud.
To 34.
It's doing a lot more revolutions.
44 revolutions in the length of the barrel.
See?
Wow. A lot of spinach.
Yeah, a lot of spinach. And it's and you guys got to hear this thing shoot. And when you get a chance, go over to his channel and listen to this thing shoot. It doesn't say, it sounds like, you're shooting a 22. It really does. It's not loud. It doesn't. You're just not expecting that big honker of a bullet to be coming out of that gun. You know, I mean, yeah, I'm interested in it now. I'm telling you, I may pick up a Faxon barrel.
So Vanessa missed our twist rate conversation. Miss Kitty, the 1 in 3 twist is not about stabilization. It is about imparting rotational energy onto a target. So you get velocity and rotational energy into the target, and it just multiplies the knockdown power. What's the correct word for that?
Yeah, that's
the energy on target.
Yeah, energy on target. The what they were saying from the bullets that I saw pictures of that hit the gelatin, that when they slowed it down with one of those high speed cameras, and you could see the bullet hitting the gelatin, and the front of the bullet actually bending because of the amount of force it was twisting with when it hit the gelatin, and it started resisting in the gelatin. It was cranking on that gelatin so hard that you see the petals that are in the hollow point starting to distort and move, and you're like, oh my
helicopters.
God. Yes,
there's like a propeller through the gel.
Yeah.
So a couple other things here in the comments. Jeff said, does anyone know if they tried other twists? I know that they tried a 1 in 5 and a 1 in 8. I've heard both of those things from Faxon, and a year and a half ago, Q did one of the first podcasts on his channel about this, and I know that those were mentioned. I just happen to remember those. I think they probably settled on 1 in 3, one because marketing, it's pretty wild to say 1 in 3, even because there is other stuff that's like 1 in 5, 1 in 8, like those already exist. So I think they wanted to be something different. I'm speculating on this part. He seems like a marketing guy, so I would think that he would make a decision like that.
Well, the military's got that new cartridge too. That's 1 in 3.
Yeah, so I think it was pretty wild to be on that cutting edge of a 1 in 3. So that's one thing. Yes, kinetic energy is what we were looking for. Lakeview Outdoors.
There's that high dollar 50-cent word. We were
there. We go.
Yeah.
Someone else said something about, does the spin cause any problems at a distance? Possibly. I don't know. And then they were talking about like the rotation of it and gyroscoping. So the spin might do something at distance. I don't know. I mean, are we talking about like 1,000 yards? What's the spin going to do to the point of impact? I don't know.
I don't see nothing with a faster spin like that. I mean, when you get slow, you'll keyhole, but fast is just going to go fast. It's going to keep spinning. I mean,
Jamie's right, because it's every 3 inches.
Yeah,
it does one.
Anytime you go on a
3 inches,
see
for
1 in 3, that's
rotation.
one spin in 3 inches. 4 is 1 in 4. You go by that second number, guys.
Yeah. So it would be 3 divided into 16. And he'd be 3 times 5 is 15. So yeah, it's 3 and whatever he came out with it. Thanks, Jamie. He got Jamie's good with math. Anytime I have a math problem that's making my head hurt, I'm gonna call Jamie and text him. My head hurts. Can you help me with this? I put this in the computer.
Yeah. So Russell's asking about the suppressor. This is a great question. I don't know the answer to this. I don't know anything about suppressor life expectancy, and I don't know what the difference between the 338 or the 8.6 versus something else. I don't know the answer to that. I know that the Primal is not technically listed as an approved cartridge for 8.6 Blackout. I know that, but it is listed as an acceptable cartridge for like 338 Lapua, which is a Magnum cartridge, which would have higher pressures than this. So the assumption by people is that it would be okay, but Dead Air has not approved it for this round. In fact, no one has. No suppressor manufacturer that I'm aware of currently today.
And they won't until it's Sammy approved.
Probably that would be.
Is your barrel hammer forged? I don't think it is.
It's button rifled.
Okay.
button rifle. I saw the interview with whoever you were talking about earlier, Eagle. Who was that? That YouTuber that was interviewing the guy from Faxon? Like it
The
was a
AP
heavy
2020
set
guy.
The what is it called?
Oh wait. Oh, I don't know.
They had a guy from Faxon on there who was a heavyweight. Well, he was a little bit heavy. He wasn't like gigantic obese, but he was a big guy. Let's put it that way. He was a big guy. And this YouTuber was interviewing him, and Lord help me, I was just caught it because I had put up a thing on 8.6 tonight onto my community tab, and it popped up a few things on 8.6 that were released in the last couple of days, and it had this interview with this guy from the Barrel Company. What's the name of it?
Faxon.
He's from Faxon, and he was talking about the different twist weight rates that you were talking about that they had tried in the beginning, and he went all into that, and that's how I knew about a couple of things that I hadn't known about before. He had kind of gone into a lot of things where he was talking about effective ranges and basically they asked him about suppressors, and then he had said something about as soon as the SAMI, and he had said something about SAMI when it's going to be approved. He said that it's going to be approved, and I think he speculated on it. I'm not 100% sure. Don't hold me to that, but he may have said that they didn't know at that time, but I think he speculated on when they were going to approve it.
The rumor I heard it would be in 2022.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be in the next few months, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know anything about that. That's a rumor. The kinetic energy conversation summoned. How do you say Hipparchus?
I just call him Hippa.
Hippa.
He was summoned by our kinetic energy conversation.
Good old kinetic energy. So, brother, what do you like about this cartridge the most so far? What have you? Are you just interested with these big, heavy bullets, these big 33 caliber monsters?
I'm not like a the bigger the better person is not really me, but I really like short barrels. I'm into the short barrel aspect of it. I wanted an excuse to get into suppressors, and this was an excuse. And then I always felt like I've shot hogs with 223 before, and it isn't enough, really.
Yeah,
you know.
I agree.
And so I really wanted to shoot my 6.5 Creedmoor at hogs, and then I realized, well, I kind of made a decision. I have a 20-inch barrel, and that gun weighs 500 pounds, and it's got, I mean, that's not really a hunting gun, so it's almost been converted into more of an accuracy thing. So if 8.6 Blackout hadn't have existed, I think right now I would probably be one of the guys who's running those 12 and 14-inch 6.5 Creedmoors, and I may have a suppressed shorty Creedmoor. I kind of chose 6.5 Creedmoor over 308 years ago, but maybe it would be a 308, maybe it would be a 6.5 Creedmoor, but I would probably have a really short barrel 6.5 Creedmoor right now, also as an excuse to get a suppressor. But this cartridge, it was almost exactly a year ago that I heard an old podcast from Q, and just listening to the podcast, I was like, this is the round for me. Like, this is what I have been waiting on. Like, I was fresh into reloading, so I was really excited about the possibilities of reloading this cartridge. And I knew it was going to be new, and it was going to be kind of a wildcat. And like, I'm a 9mm 223 reloader. Like, I don't get weird with reloading at all. Like, I'm not a wildcatter. Like, I'm going to do exactly what the powder says in the book. Like, I'm not fooling around with like I don't have 15 days to figure out a load for 223. I'm going to go right to the book. I'm going to do what they did. I'm going to make 1,000 of them. Like, that's just me. So this was a bit of an excuse for me to kind of branch out. And then just the desire to do more hog hunting and have a better, more capable caliber for that. I mean, this is the bullet that the hogs have nightmares about. Like,
what do you think about the Grendel on hogs? What's your thoughts on that?
My brother-in-law and
6.5.
his son both shoot Grendel at the hogs on my property. Grendel is what they've shot, and I've been taking out 223 is what I've been using. So they shoot Grendel. They liked Grendel because of they liked the Grendel because it had a heavier weight bullet and it was lighter recoil because he has an elementary age son who's been shooting, and so he wanted something better than 5.56 223, and so they chose Grendel, but they bought their guns off the shelf, and I don't do that.
It drops them pretty good, don't it? The Grendel.
It does. It does a great job. The Grendel's perfectly capable. I mean, it's a great hog gun. And the Grendel's also a really good like intermediate accuracy gun too. I mean, the Grendel's a cool round. I can't wait to get into that.
I want it for hog and deer, or especially deer here in Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, because you can shoot like a lot of. I think the 220, the 123 grain is that like the one that it was designed for, like 123 grainer.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm wrong.
But there's you can run 130s and you can run, there's even like some 90s and 110s and stuff that you can rip at really high velocities. I'm saving some of that Grendel stuff. We might need to talk Grendel reloading here coming up in a couple months. Maybe AR will have his here and we can go back and forth on Grendel and try to figure out what we like. The cool thing about Grendel is that there's a ton of people who reload Grendel, and there's just so much data already out there. Like, there's no reinventing of the wheel required on Grendel.
Yeah. Well, you know what this is going to lead to?
What?
300 Blackout.
Oh, okay.
See, I'm a Grendel guy. I don't. Everybody loves that 300 Blackout. I don't really want it.
Never had one, never shot one. I think they're cool.
Even if I shoot one, I know kind of how it shoots. I still just don't have no interest in it.
If you shoot one, you will have interest in it. I didn't have any interest in it whatsoever. I shot one and I was like, "Oh, this is neat."
The Grendel is accurate. It's a heavy enough bullet to kill the hogs and take the deer down, and that's about in a semi AR platform. That's all I need. That's the way I think. I wouldn't want a Blackout for deer hunting or hog hunting. Unless it was up close, probably. But I might, if I had a kid and wanted to do subsonic, I probably would like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would then.
Yeah. So, and I think he's talking.
Okay, Eagle.
Yeah, he's talking to his wife, I think. Yeah. So basically, I like this 8.6. I'm down for it, man. I'm almost tempted to get one of those packs and barrels and build my 308 into this 8.6 and give it a whirl and do some.
I'm with you, Hal. I kind of not a Blackout guy either. It's just reasons the way I am, the way I'm wired. It says, Kitty says, any cross between a Grendel and a Beowulf, those Vikings myth stuff.
A Beowulf and a Grendel. Yeah.
Now, one I would like to have, the 458, the blue bullets the Echo's got to go hog hunting.
Oh yeah, SOCOM.
Yeah.
Yeah, 458 SOCOM.
Yeah, I would do that in a heartbeat.
You need to call Tony over at Tromix and order you some stuff.
To me, when you start going 308, 300 Blackout, you're kind of reducing the 308, and I don't want something reduced. I typically want it to go up, but that's my thoughts on how I think about
You wait till you shoot
rounds.
Wait till you shoot one. That's all I gotta say.
I think the pistols, like Blackout pistol suppressed, I'm into it. I mean,
yeah, I could say, well, that'd be fun, maybe. Yeah,
down the road, that might be something on my list. There's a couple of things that are kind of piquing my interest down the road, but I love the AR 9mm. That thing, like I have one with a 5-inch barrel. That is the most fun gun that I have to shoot. I mean, not even close. Like, you could shoot 200 or 300 rounds of that and be ready to shoot another 2 or 3. It's so much fun. So I bet Blackout's probably in that category. A suppressed pistol Blackout. I bet it's just super fun to shoot.
Yeah.
A few years ago, I didn't like the pistols. I didn't want to build one. But here's what converted me to pistols builds. It's a fantastic vehicle, rifle, self-defense on the road. It absolutely is. You can get it in and out quick.
We went to the, absolutely, like a truck gun. That's what we call them here, truck gun. When I went to the beach, took the family on a road trip to the beach. I used to take an AR and then a Beretta 9mm, but since I've been doing all these P80s and I'm in the Glock space now, I took a P80 and an AR-9 that takes Glock mags. So it's like I have the same bullet, the same mag in between the two guns, and like that AR-9, I mean, I would trust it for self-defense. I mean, I'm not gonna shoot anyone. I mean, if it's 100 yards, I'm not in a self-defense situation anyway. So
yeah.
A lot of people like rounds. People coming in with cars, getting a Honda generator. Yeah, a 603.
I got a Corvette, Hal. I love Corvettes.
I got a
30-06.
They're like Chevette.
Oh, I remember them.
Chevette.
Beautiful.
1.8.
30-06 is a great round. I mean, 30-06 is. I mean, that's a great round. 308. It's a great round. If it's doing what you want it to do, there's. I mean, the only reason you would branch out is if it's not doing something that you want it to do. I never really understood the caliber wars. Like 40 cal, 9mm. Like I don't like 40 cal because the feds used it for a long time, but 9mm, 40 cal, 45. Like if you're happy with your 7 rounds of 45 ACP and your single stack gun, then giddy up.
See, I love 40. I started out, bought my first my second semi in 40 cal Taurus. It was a PT 101, basically a copy of the Beretta, stainless steel. Boy, it was nice, and it shoots. It'll definitely crush bone better than a 9. Now, granted, everybody says they improved the 9. I understand that theory, but I like the 40. I don't care if the government did it or not. That don't interest me who did it. I don't pay attention to government on anything anyway. If they did or didn't do it. But
so
good.
So what are your plans for you're going to build a sub gun and a super gun, and then you're thinking you got the barrel in for your 6.5.
Yep. And
you got an Odin Works barrel?
Got an Odin Works barrel, the nicest barrel I've ever seen. Way cool.
Yeah.
I can't. Can I show a barrel?
Yeah, you can show a barrel.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can show parts.
I mean, just the packaging that this thing came in is like so far above anything else.
I know that once you see like the packaging that these custom barrel companies use, you're like, yeah,
that's Odin.
Oh wow, that's cool.
So
they make good barrels.
20-incher. The only marking on this entire barrel is that little jazzy logo, and then it says, what did I get? 1 and 8 twist. Yeah, I chose the 1 and 8. So it says 1 and 8 Grindle, and it has an Odin Works little A logo looking thing with the mountains, and that's it. And apparently this is their own proprietary machined gas block. It's adjustable. We were kind of talking about that earlier. I don't know how jazzed I am about adjustable gas blocks, but we'll leave it on there for now since that's the one that came up with. Yeah. And I don't know that the quality of that barrel. I mean, it just feels and looks way different than anything I've ever had. Like, I thought that Ballistic Advantage 6.5 Creedmoor barrel I got, like I spent $200 or $300 on that thing, and I was like, man, this is amazing. And this is beyond that.
Oh yeah.
I don't quote me. I think the Odin is a hand lapped too barrel.
I believe so.
Yeah. They hand lap it for.
Took them a month to make it to get it to me.
Yeah.
They sell them on their website, but they're not like in stock. Like they don't like ship right away.
Right. A lot of those companies that do stuff like that will do a run once they get so many orders, and some companies will do them one at a time. They'll do the barrels one at a time, and they charge enough for them.
I like White Oak Armory, and then I like that one, the Odin. I think they're good barrels.
I like that company that they cut the gas block right into the barrel. Who makes that one?
I don't remember who did that.
Oh, I've seen that. I don't remember
I've heard
that
of
name.
it.
It wasn't a
I
name
like,
I'd heard of.
yeah,
Somebody
I
on
like
YouTube
that
was
idea.
some channel on YouTube was talking about that here a while back.
I'm interested in seeing
Uh,
some of that. I'm seeing a few of those barrels.
Yeah.
That seems like that's kind of a cool idea.
Hal says he's not a 9mm person. He's happy with his 45, and and I can fully support that. Like I'm not gonna fight anyone about a caliber. I'm gonna take a shot every now and then at 308 and at 45 ACP just because it makes the old guys mad. But other than that, like I think they're cool cartridges. They all have a place. The one of the things that I think some people like. People who are here watching that aren't from my channel, like I am not a hunter. I'm not a hunter. I'm not a competitive shooter, and I'm not a hunter. So then you say, well, why is this guy way into guns? Well, two reasons. One, I'm a prepper. I'm a prepper, and so I'm into guns as a prepper, which really makes me a little bit odd when we're talking about like reloading. I'm not gonna sit down and reload 10 rounds of something and then go shoot them. That's not me. That's not why I bought a Dillon Progressive. I have a Dillon Progressive because I want to sit down in an hour and I want to make 500 rounds of 9mm. Like that's why I have that. I'm more interested in the quantity. And so to go back to what he's saying about the 45 and the 9 is so, from a platform standpoint, it's so prolific that you have to have a gun that shoots a 9 because in my world, my mentality, EMP takes us out, your neighbor's going to have a 9mm and you got no bullets for it. You know what I mean? Like
I agree.
the doubling down, the reciprocity, is that the word? Reciprocity?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The platforms that are able to like coexist together. That's what's key for me. I want redundancy. I want large quantities of things. So 9 for me is the answer. Is the round the greatest? Maybe there's a better choice. I don't know. AR likes 40. And
I like the 9 too now. I have a 1911 9mm. So
I think those are cool.
So I have research guys on the 9 quite a bit past few years. My reading says that cops in America did research on it. FBI did that. At a high speed plus P or plus P plus, that it has the terminal velocity of almost like a 357. That's what they see. So if you got a plus P and you got a plus P, boy, you're moving.
So that means because it weighs 124 grains and because it's moving at that velocity.
Yes, it's like a man stopper. It starts becoming really what to call a man stopper, which we used to call the 357 the man stopper, and everybody still does on that gun. So yeah, you got a heck of a round.
Yeah, when I load my AR-15 9mm, I got a little Rock River 16-inch barreled gun that I ramped the barrel or the bolt on, and it's pretty custom. And I put load plus P plus because I've got a 1/4 inch of steel all the way around my chamber of my 9mm, and I put some hot loads in there. And I was getting them at 1365 coming out the end of the barrel. And I was like, 147 grains going 1365. I was
147 grains.
Yes, out of a 16-inch barrel. But then I would have them flying. And then my buddy was like, what are you shooting, dude? That's like breaking the sound barrier. I'm like, yeah, these are my don't ask dad bullets. They'd be like, don't shoot these in a handgun.
I think people think back on the 9, how it was years ago, decades ago. It could be slow, and not that much of what I call a man stopper. But things change when you start loading them things hot. I like the 40 because it's actually got more powder.
Yeah, I like the idea. The bigger the bullet, I'm just one of those guys that are like, I'm a 45
That's why I like
guy,
the 40.
but I like 9mm. I've got a bunch of 9mm. I got 357. I got them all. I like them.
I can go from 155 grain to 185 on 40. Plus, I got a little bit more powder, and that's kind of why I like it on that one.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
So Drew over here in the comment, Drew in the comments here, speaking my language, he says, "I've been shot twice and stabbed twice. Never forget. It doesn't matter what caliber you have. You don't want to get shot. SHTF." Like, 100% correct. Like, it doesn't. The idea is to not get shot. Like, it really doesn't matter what you get shot with
or stabbed with. I don't want to get stabbed with nothing either.
Vanessa always likes that 629. I had one too, Vanessa. You guys, stainless steel.
Stainless
I love
steel
that
629 44 Magnum.
Yeah, I love that handgun. Smith & Wesson.
That's a handful. That's a Dirty Harry special. That'll survive the salt water.
The day I bought it in 2000. I walked out of the pawn shop. I gave $400 for that thing in mint condition, stainless steel. Walk out, guys. People around the pawn shop on the sidewalk started staring at it. I just stuck it in my belt.
Stuck it in
my belt.
Wait, is that the gun you told me when I interviewed you about? That was the one gun you wish you had back or something, or do you still have that one?
I may have mentioned it probably when you was live streaming or something. I can't remember.
Yeah,
I actually got rid of that gun, and I still think about it. It was the old square butt. It was a red ramp insert, stainless steel trigger hammer.
Yeah.
It didn't have that full lug barrel. I don't like the full lug. A lot of people do, but that 629 is just bad as a bone, the old versions of them.
Yeah, I wanted to take a minute, let everybody know. Our buddy CW, he's in the hospital. He's had he had a mild heart attack.
Oh, wow.
And he's needing us to just say a little prayer for him if you're a believer, and send that one up the pike to the big man in the sky, because these kind of things, we need all the prayer and support we can get. Yeah, I talked to him, and Walter announced it on Chris's show the other night that he had been in the hospital because of a mild heart attack. And I contacted him and told him I wish him all the luck in the world, and everybody's praying for him. So I want everybody to know that tonight, and kind of let
he was in here earlier.
Yeah,
CW.
Hope you're doing well. Get better, CW.
Yeah.
But so what are your plans, man? You're going hunting on your property over in Texas for hogs with this new shenanigans. Are you gonna use factory ammo, or are you gonna get into the reloading of some ammunition?
I need to jump out of 9mm. So far, I have only ever reloaded 9mm, but I have everything that I need to do a bunch of cartridges, because remember, prepper, so I have to have all my stuff. I have everything I need to load 223. I have dies. I have backup sets of dies. I have powder for it. I've got I don't want to say numbers because people get crazy when you say numbers. I have more than one spare case to reload. I've been I have bullets, large quantities of those things, because if I'm ready to do it, I'm ready to do it.
Yeah.
I also have
Eagle. I'm like you. They say one is none.
One is one. Yep.
Yeah, and
two is one. One is none.
So yeah.
Okay, so
we think.
So look at this. This is a Hornady 8.6 Blackout Die Set. And then I have two Lees. Wow.
Well, you do got backups.
Yeah, so I'm going to give one of these sets away on my channel here eventually. I've got giveaways that I've been trying to do. I just keep making videos, and I keep ignoring the fact that I'm going to try to do a giveaway.
Well, what I'm waiting for is the dang the rigid AR box.
Right. Yes. So that was supposed to be for 5,000
subs. Yeah.
And I have two of them right here behind my laptop, and they are a 16-inch rigid case. And then you do this. I actually have some of it right here. This is a little scrap of my other one. This is that Kaizen foam that's in layers, and you take your gun apart and you put it on here. You draw around it, and then you cut out around it with a really specific utility knife that's really long, like one of those break, those knives that break
where you
tips.
can push all the way out. Yeah.
So you push that guy out deep, and you cut perfectly so it only fits one gun. and they look so amazing because that foam is made. It's a tool foam. It's made to do cutouts of tools. And so you get your wrench and you draw it and it fits perfectly in your toolbox. That's what that stuff's made for. So it fits guns beautifully. And I did one and I was going to keep it. And this guy saw it and he made me an offer I could not refuse. And I sold him the case and the 10-inch AR inside of it with like 3 mags that were inside of it. And he wrote me, he's like, I'm gonna write you a check right now. And I'm like, what? I didn't really want to sell it, but I had to. Anyway, so I got 2 of them right back here. I'm gonna keep one for myself, or I might give away 2. I don't know. You can get those at Home Depot, but I'm gonna give one away. It's gonna come with the foam, and then there's gonna be a tutorial about how to put the thing together, and I'll give that away for a subscriber. Unfortunately, my channel is not big enough to give away the gun as well as you're going to have to provide your own gun. My channel is the size of a $50 giveaway, not a $500 giveaway.
Hey guys, I want to go back to that 9 versus 40. We all get like this in the gun community when we start discussing 9 and 40. Everybody kind of, whoa, government, and I'm the same way. I do it, but everything's cool. We just all talk like that.
We need to get settled in on the 22 long rifle or the 22 short. That's the one that I need. A 9-shot 22 short. That's what I carry right in my hip.
I want a 22 caliber pistol, kind of like Chris from the 740's got, and I want a 22 rifle.
Yeah, I got a 22 rifle and pistol. I got a Glock conversion for my 9mm 19.
I haven't had a 22 rifle, man, since I was early 20s.
Well, it sounds like you should get one.
There's 4 prepper guns that are the holy grail of the prepper community, and number 1 is the 22. In fact, the preppers say that you need as many things that shoot 22 as possible. So you need pistols, you need revolvers, you need, of course, bolt action 22s, break open 22s, tube fed 22s, 10 22s. You need as many things to shoot 22 as possible.
22s.
Yeah, I have more than one. That's all I'll say. The other 3 on the prepper list of guns is the 9mm, and it's because of the redundancy and the prolificness of it. The other one is, of course, the 223 because everyone's got an AR. I don't know why in Washington D.C. they don't think anyone has these guns. It's like, bro, we have more than one of them. Okay, we have lots of them.
That's what scares them.
And then the other thing is the 12 gauge. That's the 4th gun on the list. So if you've got those 4 guns, you need as many things that shoot 12 gauge as possible, as many things that shoot.
And I put 308 in that category. I do because of the NATO round.
So you can branch out from those 4 and you can go a couple different directions. If you've, some people are would say, oh, I'm a long range shooter. I need my 6.5 PRC or 6.5 Creedmoor or 308 if you want a more of a specific hunting round. And some people actually sub out the 223 altogether and they do a battle rifle style 308 AR-10, which is cool. As long as it fits your system and you have ammo to back up what you're trying to accomplish, totally fine.
That's what I want. I want a AR-10. That's my next. I've been thinking about it for a while.
It's we're coming up on the deadline for the 80%. So I'm gonna say a number. You want to hear a number? I never say numbers. I'm gonna say a number. I bought 4 AR-10 80% lowers.
Wow.
I have a raw unfinished one. I've got 2 black ones, and I've got an FDE one that that I got before the deadline. They came in this week and last week. I'm not going to do builds on them right away. I'm mostly just going to set on them. But one of those
they're going to be serialized, right? Eagle?
No serials.
I mean, the new ones coming in, they're going to have to serialize them.
You'll have to FFL them in the future, which I don't care about the FFL part of it. Like, we all buy guns and fill out FFL paperwork all the time.
True. It bothers me because we've always been able to make firearms in America for 200-something years. 300.
That's the part.
And yeah,
That's the
without
part.
any kind of government interference. So that part bothers me.
Yeah, like
I'm old school.
I'm not against background checks, but then again, I also say all gun laws are unconstitutional. I'm in both categories. I think background checks are an agreeable compromise. It's just that it did not stop there. It kept going and it kept going and it's still going.
See, my generation grew up without background checks, so I'm a little
Yeah.
more. You know, I don't like. Matter of fact, when my brother come to me in the 1990s and told me about it, I says it'll lead to a registration. It'll lead to a list, database.
It definitely did. It is. There's lists. They say
And it
there's
won't
no
be long
lists.
before
There's
Congress
lists.
finally just says, "Hey, we're gonna have a national registry," and then that's when we're gonna really get more mad because they'll actually officially stamp it at that point, and put it into law.
So you said you don't follow much of this political stuff. I pretty much only follow the political stuff that it relates to guns. But did you see that the FRT triggers, those from like Big Daddy or whatever, those reset triggers? Did you see that like they're knocking on your door now to ask for them? And the first thing I say, just tongue in cheek, is I say, well, how do they know that I had one if there's not a list? But yeah, they do know. And
they tell you, they're talking on YouTube about that. Some channels are. They say you don't have to say nothing. You say, I'll talk to my lawyer. Bye. You need to leave the property. You can actually tell the feds, leave your property. Get out of here. You don't have to sit there and go, oh, okay, I'll go in the house and I'll get it and I'll show you that I bought more than 3 guns or whatever. But I didn't grow up in an era where the ATF comes to your door or the FBI wants to see, did you bought 2 or 3 guns or this, that, and the other. That bothers me a lot.
So you saw that video of that guy that bought 2 guns and the feds knocked on his door.
Yeah, I do follow politics a lot. I just don't talk about it a lot on the channel here.
I don't know. I've bought 2 guns before and nobody came to my door.
Yeah, I think it varies sometimes. The flag goes off, but they don't really do anything. But all of a sudden now, when you get a new administration in, he can order whoever's over the ATF. They can say, let's do more checks on that.
Yeah,
because it's already there. They say we want to push it up. Go to more places. Check these guns out when they buy 2 or more, 3 or more, whatever. Al Gore years ago totally wanted it into law like that. Right now, it's just ATF little regulation they got you with.
And it's just harassment is really all it is.
I mean, because there's no law, really. Nothing wrong with you can go buy 5 guns. You can buy 10 guns.
So if you buy, I know that I've done this. Mm-hmm. Like Aero Precision or some of these companies would offer a 5-pack of AR-15 lowers. Mm-hmm. And so this was 15 years ago before I was doing 80%ers. And I know that I had them shipped to my FFL, and I know that I technically bought 5 guns that day. Like, their lowers would count. So maybe because they were lowers, I didn't trigger anyone's red flag. But
it probably went in the system. They just didn't act on it. And I think they're wanting to act. It depends on the administration, the president, and who he puts in these departments. That's the problem. They start wanting, like now Biden wants to do the 80-something thousand IR agents, and he wants them armed with M16s.
So infuriating.
They're actually buying more ammo and guns now. The IRS is. All they need is a typewriter, they say, or a computer. They don't need.
Explain why the IRS agent needs a firearm.
And there's a lot of uproar over that.
Yeah, and I've been hearing about that. There's less. So they say that they're going after the billionaires, but there's less than 1,000 billionaires in the United States. Like there's under 1,000 billionaires, like 800 something billionaires in the United States. So does that mean that like every billionaire gets like 100 IRS agents assigned to them? Like, no, that doesn't make sense. That means they're coming after me and they're coming after you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I don't understand why they went that route, arming all these. I do understand why they're doing it because I don't trust the government. There's no reason really to arm all these things, but here's what it does: it puts arms out there all over the country, post offices everywhere, where if they ever do martial law, they can act fast. And that's really what they're doing. They can't put the military in America, and I'll leave that alone. I've said enough on that.
80,000. So here's my question: Can the next administration just simply fire 80,000 IRS agents?
Yeah, and not hire them.
Yeah, listen, you're fired.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Chris, 740 Chris is here. What's up, buddy?
Hey, brother.
Hey,
and
Chris.
now that he's here, that reminds me. Listen,
Drew.
ladies and gentlemen, this Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard,
Mm-hmm.
Chris from the 740 will be having his show, which I'll be on the panel. And we're going to be doing another show of beginner reloading. So tune in to that and check us out. And we will really appreciate your participation in the audience. And that reminds me also to say
Let me
hi
explain
to you.
that on those background checks. The government don't, NIC system does not tell the government how many guns you buy. All it does is just trigger that one's being bought. So they don't know if you bought one. They do know the numbers, but that background check part of it don't know how many you bought. They don't know what you bought. They just know that you did a background check on you. That's all they know. A lot of people think that they know exactly right then what gun you're buying. A few years ago, they didn't. I don't know where it's going in the future on that. I had
it's
a guy
not going
here
in a good place. I know that.
I had a guy here years ago tell me one day, says, my wife has a concealed carry, so she's got a licensed, what was it? I forget how he phrased it. He says, oh, she's registered. And I went, what do you mean registered? He's been watching too much TV. I says, just because you have a concealed carry permit does not mean your gun is registered.
Right.
And I said, I don't even know where he got it. And this guy was 40 years old. And I'm thinking, what is he talking about? But some people think that. It's, they need to really do the research on it. And it is worse in some states too, here in America, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Yeah, Vanessa Kitty says billionaires pay fewer taxes than we do. Percentage-wise, yes, but dollar amount, no. Their percentage is lower than our percentage. Yeah, but even me as a small business owner, like I can get my percentage down pretty low because I expense the fire out of everything. Yeah. Like, I mean, I didn't pay for that suppressor. I didn't pay for the 6.5 Grendel. I didn't pay for any of those things. I paid pre-tax dollars as an expense for my YouTube account for those things. That brings my tax rate down essentially because it's a cost of doing business of having a channel that's monetized.
Yeah, they'll do that too, Hal. They're trying to get more money is what they're trying to do. So they'll do more audits, everything.
Hold on. Now,
hold on.
Now you're saying that because your channel's monetized and you're writing off taxes for your
Correct.
items that you're purchasing. So they're a tax write-off. Okay. That's good. That's good. Yes. That keeps everything that you're spending for your channel basically free.
Essentially free, yeah. I mean, it's obviously not money I'm putting in my pocket.
Yeah.
But I'm also not paying taxes on it as well, and it's something that I probably would have bought anyway. So small. Even if you I don't know. Chris and I were talking about this a couple weeks ago on his channel, because he's a small business owner, and expensing things is my whole life is expensed, and I have zero doubt that I'm going to have to deal with one of these IRS agents. Zero doubt. I mean, my channel lost money last year. You know what I mean?
Right.
Does that make sense? My channel lost money last year. So you can't lose money every single year. Eventually you'll have to make money if you're going to try to keep the IRS agents off your tail. But let me also say, just while we're on this topic, I don't expense anything that I'm not supposed to expense. I am not doing anything shady illegal at all.
Yeah.
I'm simply using the tax code fully as it's intended.
Your advantage. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Decades ago, Elvis Presley was so alarmed over that in his life that he just says, I don't want no deductions. And he also paid a lot of taxes because of that. But he did that his whole 20 years.
It's freaking complicated too, man. I mean,
but the cool thing about what I was into, I was a truck driver. So anything that I bought while I was in the seat of that truck, from sun up to whenever the heck I stopped driving, was a tax write-off.
Yeah.
Any food, anything. I mean,
gas,
if I had
clothes.
to pay
you can even do laundromat fees, starching your shirts, if it's related. You used to could. I don't know lately.
So part of the new thing that was that Biden did which this is one thing I'm going to say that I think is cool. We small business owners can deduct 100% of restaurants right now. So normally it's 50% of meals. And so I just buy my staff, meals constantly because it lowers my taxable income.
Yeah.
So like people that have some people may not think about this, but if you work for a company and you have a company credit card, the reason that they give you that company credit card is because if you're buying company expenses, the business wants the write-off. Yeah. And you think, oh, look at me, I'm so cool, I got a gas card. It's like the business, some of these businesses are good businesses, but some of them are not good businesses. And the reason they want you to expense every single thing as possible so they can lower their taxable income.
Yeah.
I had a Amazon business account. I still got the business credit card here a while back. And I used to have the state tax thing when I was repairing computers. I'd go by to Costco and get stuff without tax, stereos, surge protectors, whatever related software. And also Sam's, I had a tax slip years ago, but I got out of it at that point. It's been a while.
Yeah, if you got a small business, it pays money to watch what you're spending and what you're spending it on. If you're spending
what do you got your channel at, Chris? I mean, Eagle. What
was that?
Is it, what do you got at LLC? Your YouTube, is it a business? You got it listed as business?
Yeah, so I have a couple of LLCs because I have more than one business. I'm not saying numbers again. I have more than one business, and inside of one of my LLCs, I have a doing business as, and that DBA owns my channel.
Gotcha. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, it's pretty basic. I have a CPA that I meet with like twice a year. Most everything I do myself. So it's just kind of part of being a small business owner and investor.
This filing system. Yeah, you just got to have a good filing system and keep all your records straight.
Have a great filing system. Don't worry about that.
Yes.
Anyway, we got off track here, guys, earlier. We all did.
Hey, business talk with the reloaders.
Yeah, business talk with reloading. Yeah. But now I've seen a lot of your videos lately that you've been putting out, and you've been doing a lot of stuff with the channel, and I'm really excited to have you on because I noticed this, and I notice everybody else is noticing this too, and I'm happy to promote your growth and see how you're doing with that, and everybody's happy to participate and come over. I know that you just on Eagle Run 23, you just made 6,000 subscribers.
Snuck up on me.
Yes, before you knew it, it was there and it passed you. And so if you guys haven't subscribed to Eagle Run 23, please go over and do so and check out his channel because he's got a good one and it's very entertaining what he does on there. And he's great. He's doing 80%. Oh, yeah, and I got to talk to you about some. And so basically, yeah, and we are going to go ahead and shut it down for tonight unless Ellie or AR or Eagle wanted to put in anything else. Did you?
Yeah, anything you want to talk about?
Well, I'll just say my business is very busy in the summertime. And so about a week ago, my summer operations are over. And so I have a couple of weeks here before I have to do my next thing. And so I've posted like 10 or 12 videos in the last 10 days. And I already have 8 videos scheduled to post on my channel right now. So there's currently 8 videos. I'm scheduled out till the end of the month. So there's daily videos on my channel. And I'm still like, I made 2 videos today. I went to the range today. Like, I'm just going to spend as much time and get as much scheduled out there as I can. So some of the stuff that is going on is stuff that isn't happening live, but I don't know that it really matters that much. But if you're commenting, I'm watching those things all the time. I love the little community that is in the chat. I love seeing the same names. If you're a new name, you only have to comment twice to be a friend. So you don't have to do too much to get into the inner circle of Eagle Run 23 channel. But right now I'm at the spot where I'm absolutely having a blast doing what I'm doing because I'm kind of off right now. It's almost like I'm a real YouTuber because I get to like shoot guns. Like I went to the range 3 times in the last 4 days. Like I'm having a blast right now. So working on all sorts of things. And I've been texting with Chris about this red dot sight. Chris from the 740, he's helping me out. Echo helped me out a little bit on that. I shot today and I learned something new that I'm going to shoot a video on here this evening. I learned something new that a guy showed me at the range and it blew my mind. So there's just such cool stuff. Just talking to people at the range. I talked to an old guy at the range yesterday who had this Bluetooth lab radar. And he was like, my son told me to get this Bluetooth lab radar. And he's like, can you help me get it paired to my phone? And I'm like, dude, I want a chrono. This is the chrono I'm looking at. And he's like, he got it for me for Christmas. I've only used it once. And he was with me and he couldn't get it set up. So I sat with him for 30 minutes and helped him get the chrono. I'm like, I kind of feel like this thing is mine now. Like, can I chrono a couple things? So I'm having a blast right now, having a good time.
Awesome, man. I'm really happy that you're going that way, and that everything's going in a progression, and we're starting to get a lot of good content out of you, and waiting to see even more. So good for you on the 6,000, and here's to the next 6,000. And keep them coming, brother. Just keep them coming. They're good content, and we'll talk ARs all the time. Because I love my ARs, and I got another project I'm going to get Chris or you or both you involved in. It's going to be something funny, so we'll talk about that backstage. But we'll spring it on the crew when we bring it out for show and tell.
Always a pleasure to be on with you guys. Appreciate you.
Oh yeah, brother. Pleasure. Always pleasure having you, brother.
Always enjoy you on.
Yeah, and it's always fun to have you and your crew that comes over with you. And I keep stealing Jenny J 1911's crew word. I'm sorry, Jenny, using your crew word. So, anyways.
We know where his mind's at, guys.
Yeah, no, my mind ain't anywhere near anything bad. I was just playing with a cat. I was just playing with my little cat. You said bad.
Let's run over to side chat here, guys, and call these guys out. They were good enough to be here for the show. We had Eagle Run here in the box here. MSB 9021, lowballing jumped in. Tactical FUD, Lakeview Outdoors, Reloader 762, Jeff Huntley, Hal 9000. Good to see you guys. CW was in here. Hope you get better, CW. Michael Hurtnick. Who else? JH586. Good to see you, Jamie. Who else? Jeff Huntley, Hal 9000. 67 Rebel was with us. SST AMC. Uncle John was with us. Bernie Sanchez was with us. Good to see you guys. Been a while. I actually missed talking to you guys. Critter 9A was in there, and we know where Critter is most of the time these days. Talking about what you did earlier, or what you said earlier. Reloader 762 is with us. Let's see who else. Good to see Lakeview too. He's with us. There for a while. Didn't see him anywhere. G Webb's joined us. Gun Websites. He was in here earlier.
Awesome.
Caldello. Hope I pronounced that right. Bending Ballistics. Russell across the pond was with us. Who else? Caldello, Bending BS. Bear with me, guys. Probably not that fast. Drew Bradley was with us. Lead Bullet Junkie was with us. Who else? Jeff Huntley. Good to see you guys. Hasbro. Drew Bradley. I may call you twice. Overlook it. Hey. Reloader 762. I call Vanessa Kitty. Good to see you, Vanessa. Appreciate you dropping in here. She's usually always with us. Who else here?
You say Drew Bradley?
Yeah, just called him.
He says Jenny 1911 is doing a Dylan 550 giveaway for her fight. What a freak! What's she flexing on us with that?
I know. Yeah, that's
she's at 18, 1600 subscribers, so she's got a little ways to go.
I said I was in the $50 category. Look at her flexing on us.
I know. But she's got a company wanting to give her channel a Dylan 550. So that's God bless her. That's good for
Good
her.
for you, Jenny.
Yeah, good
fantastic.
for her. Yeah.
Got HIPAA with us.
HIPAA.
Yeah, that is cool. I mean, you can't beat Dylan for a giveaway.
Oh yeah, you can't
beat.
beat that with a stick. I mean, come on, never look a
Maybe I
good
need to up my
gift
game
horse
here.
in the mouth.
Yeah.
What else can I give away here? Let's see.
Dale Pogue is with us. He's gonna end up committing here. He's gonna be giving away a whole gun or something, a rifle. Vanessa
Maybe
Hasbro,
a 10K.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's definitely a 10K giveaway type
Uncle
thing.
John was with us. Who else? I think I about got you guys. Let me go down to the end here to make sure, because sometimes people jump in.
Is Dale new? Dale Pogue?
No, he's always with us most of the time.
I don't remember seeing his name. He said he scored a whole bunch of brass at the range the other day.
Awesome, brother.
That's where I missed going to the range, because I got ours was shut down to put steel on the government range here, the outdoor range. And I think they're open now, so I need to get out there and get me some brass. First thing I say when I'm walking in, I just yell out to everybody, "Hey, I'm a reloader. I want your brass if you don't want it." I do it so loud that then the guys at the state range guys,
what?
They actually want that brass. So they tell me anything that hits the ground is ours. And I go, okay. And then they end up becoming nice to me. And then they end up bringing it to me in their hand after I get to talking to them. And they lose their gift, because they actually trade that brass in for gifts, even though they're state workers. So.
Right.
Yeah.
But I can't wait to go back out there, because I got the steel now. That's going to be fun. So
Yeah.
Paper targets. Hobby's Hobo was with us.
Oh, what's up, Hobby?
Good to see you, Hobo.
Chris from the 740.
And Chris from the 740.
1911.
I don't see her yet.
Doing a
67 Rebel. I called.
What was that?
Unless she's at the bottom, I ain't looked yet. You got to realize I'm still scrolling. Let's see. I don't think Jenny's with us tonight. You guys been talking about her.
We were just talking about her. I thought it was her.
She's getting some free press tonight.
She's a school teacher, and a gun shop is scared to get the teacher voice.
Reloader 762, Uncle John. That's it, guys. We appreciate you being here. Had a good time. I enjoyed Eagle. He's always a good guest.
Appreciate you coming out, brother, and hanging out with us here at the Echoes Reloaded Chamber with me and AR. And thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in and hanging out with us tonight. And we'll see you over at the Georgia Shooting Connection next. Jamie JH586 is going to be taking off at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Andy 79Z28 jumped in late to the party. Good to see you, Andy.
Hey, Andy.
Bye, Andy.
Anyways, bye, Andy.
Guys, y'all have a good evening. God bless. Catch you on the flip side, or catch you on the next one.